Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Common Man Reacts. And today's video is a very, very important subject. Now, my channel is geared towards men. I react to videos that are geared towards men, different situations that come up, and I want to just basically give not advice, but I want to give perspective based on my lived experiences. Now, my channel is not a red pill channel. My channel is not a men's help channel, but I think, some of the perspectives that I give could help some men, right? If you just basically listen and, kind of learn from the mistakes of others, I feel like, a lot of people can learn from a lot of these videos that I react to because I try to connect them to my personal life and the personal experiences that I've had over my life. Now, I am in my mid 30s. I'm happily married. I have children. But in my younger days, I made a lot of mistakes. And, a lot of the mistakes that I've made, thank God, weren't punitive enough to follow me, all throughout my life. But, there were mistakes nonetheless. Now, I was very blessed to stay away from, jail and drugs and different things like that. I was also able to stay away from STDs as well too. A lot of that was just based on God having my back. Like there really was nothing that I did that helped me stay away from that, especially during the promiscuous times in my life. But this video here that I found, I think is very, very profound. And I think a lot of men need to hear this because STDs can have a very, very negative effect on your life. And it's not just, about getting the disease and having that stigma. Like these are legitimate health concerns, right? And a lot of these STDs have underlying health concerns, right? It can affect different systems of your body, right? It could severely impact the quality of your life. And I think men who are promiscuous, men who go around and sleep with women, you have to be aware of this. You have to be aware of what this type of stuff can do to you. And again, I'm not here to give advice and say what you should or shouldn't do. If you're gonna go and do that, right? Get it. I understand. I'm not telling anybody to go the AC Green route and stay a virgin until marriage. But what I am saying is that a lot of these women that you interact with are not clean. And I'm not talking about, as far as, clean and, the smell and odor and things like that. But a lot of these women are impacted by some of these viruses. And here is a video clip of a woman telling her story. And I wanted to just react to this in real time because I want men to understand how close they are to this. We see a lot of stories on TV based off of TV, internet. We see a lot of stories based off of people catching this and catching that. And I don't think for a lot of us it really doesn't seem that real. But I think we have to understand that we are one partner away from catching this type of stuff, right? And when you put it in perspective like that, like your next lay, the next time you have sex with somebody who is not, your longtime girlfriend or wife or whatever, you could be in this position as this young lady. And I'm not here to make fun of her. I'm not here to bash her or whatever. But I think men should understand that this stuff is still around. We learned about it coming up in sexual education in school and stuff like that. And this stuff is still floating around. It didn't disappear. Just because people try to normalize it now, it still goes around, and there's still a lot of underlying health conditions, and this can very, 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 very much impact your life and the quality of your life. So, without further ado, let's get to this young lady. I don't know who she is. It just came up. This is a podcast that's called Segs Talk Radio. If you guys want to know more about this, I guess search this out. But I have no idea who she is. And let's just listen to her story here.
He went down on me, not realizing he had a cold sore, and one thing led to another, and I had gotten cold sores, and I thought it was a really bad UTI, but I'd never had a UTI before. And so they wound up doing this swab, and the doctor was like, "I'm pretty sure this is herpes, but
Yeah.
we're gonna like test it."
Yeah,
And again,
HSV1 can be transmitted through both locations.
yes,
Yeah, a lot of
exactly.
people
People
don't
don't
know that.
understand that. And so it's like, it's very, I almost find myself being like, I'm so lucky that I have it down south because I get very infrequent breakouts unless
Sure.
I'm like uber
Stressed.
and it's very easy to tell before there are any lesions.
Sure.
Where I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna start taking my Valtrex.
Now, that's there's a lot to take away from what this lady has described here. Now, obviously, she has herpes. Now, as far as my knowledge of herpes goes, I know it's classified in two, right? The HSV1 is when you have it around the mouth, and then the HSV2 is when you have it down in your nether regions. So what she's describing, I think, is HSV2, is herpes simplex virus 2, and she's describing it down, on her lady parts. Now, I find her wording of this to be very, very strange. She's kind of talking about this as if it is like a cold or a flu or something like that, and this is something that never goes away. There's no cure to this, guys. So when you look at, it's not just about the virus. It's not just about catching, this virus. It's about her very laissez-faire nature in describing this. So who, if this woman is somebody's next conquest, now that she has talked about it publicly and all this stuff, I'm sure that she is letting whoever her next partner know that she has this, right? Because she's talking about it so openly, so publicly. I don't know. Again, I don't know who she is, but she's talking about this publicly. So I'm guessing that she is, letting her partners know that she has this. But there are certain situations where women are afraid to let somebody know about this, and they will go along with you. They'll, go the whole way with you, do everything with you, and won't tell you this, and hope that you don't catch it, and hope that you don't, confront her about it later on. There are women who would allow that to happen. So again, I think guys need to know, and they need to understand how close in proximity they are to this virus. This virus is still around. And the way that she describes it, it's very laissez-faire, but she says things that are very, shocking, I guess you could say. She says when she's very, very, very stressed, that's when she has to take her medication, her Valtrex, right? Valtrex is commonly known, commonly used to treat the outbreak of herpes, right? It's not treating the virus itself, but it's treating the symptoms, which is the outbreaks. She says she needs to take this before she has lesions. And again, I pointed to this earlier, when I started this video. Herpes and viruses like it, STDs like it, they have underlying health issues. So if you get lesions down there in your nether regions, right? Again, that's another issue, another health issue, just aside from you having herpes. Because if lesions get bad enough, what happens? They can get infected. There can be pus. There's a lot of different things that can happen here. So I think, men, the overall message that you need to take away from this, and if you're listening to me, and if you have open ears and open mind, just protect yourself. Protect yourself always, right? Do not leave it up to a woman to protect you. You protect yourself, because you never know how close this virus is. You never know how close any virus is that you may or may not catch from somebody. It might be your next partner. You have to protect yourself. And the common nature of women, and especially women like this, modern women, is to normalize things. How many times have you got on the internet, right? Any social media platform, and you seen a tweet or a post from a woman saying, let's normalize this, let's normalize that. This comes from women, and women want to normalize a lot of things that are not normal because they do not want to feel like outcasts. There's something in a woman's brain where they do not want to feel outcasted by society. They don't want to feel like they're left out, right? They want to feel a part of the bunch. They do not want to feel like lepers, basically. There's something that women have in their brains that tells them to do that. So, in an attempt to normalize things that are not normal, you could easily come across a woman who has a very laissez-faire attitude about STDs, and I've seen videos of it. There was a woman, I think it was like either a year or two ago. She was on TikTok and she was shaming men who do not want to date her because she's open about her herpes infection. And I believe she called it a benign infection and saying that it basically doesn't do anything and men should not worry about it and they should just treat her like they treat any other girl. And she's basically trying to normalize what isn't normal. So this is in a female's nature. They will try to normalize what's not normal, and if you do not go along with it, they will try to shame you. And I see this a lot on the internet. It's very, very, very prevalent. Again, they will try to normalize what's not normal. Having herpes is not normal, even though a lot of people have it. I think the numbers, like the CDC numbers, is like 1 in 5 people have herpes, some type of herpes, right? HSV1 or HSV2. They will try to normalize it. It is incumbent on you to not go for that. Please do not go for that. You need to protect yourself. There is no situation where you should feel like herpes is normal and, hey, everybody has it. I want to get it too, because there are underlying medical conditions that go along with this. And then if you have prior conditions, right? If you have something wrong with, I don't know, your heart or one of the systems, major systems of your body, catching this could very much complicate, whatever else you got going on as well, too. So you need to take stuff like this seriously. You need to protect yourself. Wear a condom when you can. And I am very, very, very big on not giving wifey treatment to every girl that you hook up with. Right. And I don't want to get into details of it. We're on YouTube. I'm not trying to, have any of my videos shadow banned or whatever. But if you are a man and you have experience hooking up with women, you know what wifey treatment is, right? That means from your head to your toes and all of that stuff. You don't do that with every girl that you meet. You don't do that with every girl that you meet. I'm sorry. I'm a big believer in that. If you're doing that with every girl that you meet, then you're going to be in trouble and you are going to be at risk to catch a lot of stuff. Not just herpes either, but some serious stuff. So, guys, protect yourself at all times. Do not leave it up to a woman to protect you, because at the end of the day, she's going to protect herself before she protects you. And you guys need to understand this and please be cognizant of it and just protect yourself, protect your health. And ultimately, it's up to you. It's up to you and nobody else. So that is the main message that I want everybody to take away from this. I just wanted to cover this. I thought this video was very shocking, but at the same time, this is the reality that we're living in. It's 2024, and men have to know about this before they go into these type of situations with these type of individuals. So just be aware of everything, protect yourself, and come out unscathed on the other side. But that is all I got for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for all the support. I appreciate it. And if there's anything else you guys want me to react to, please feel free to drop it in the comments. And I will see you guys on the next one.